Hello and welcome to this 13th video in the series on UGC NET, some topics from it specifically and things as they're going on in the world, current affairs, particularly areas from technology and political science and things like that. So English literature and how it relates to other relates with other disciplines. Today I'm gonna go faster than I've been going in the previous videos because I want to focus on now getting to things instead of showing you how to do this. You probably already know how you go about searching Google or academic databases or any other databases that you can think of. But this one, we are going to talk about rephrasing your queries, coming up with more ideas to narrow down your search and so on, and thinking about how to develop a research project and examining it from various looking at the various aspects that you need to consider while working on this project. So AI and research, that's today's topic. And AI and research, as you can see, it's a broad topic. It's too broad for us. And you would want to narrow it down to, for example, something like, okay, how I can relate with this UGC NET English. So let's have a go. AI and research. You already have certain websites and applications coming up, and you can see that AI itself is suggesting AI overview. Google's AI overview is suggesting things for you to use, and you can see finding, summarizing, analysis, writing, and so on. So many things. So ground your AI with human truth, AI for research, academic research, AI for research papers, artificial intelligence, and overview, research your AI research tools. This would be of use. User UK Research Integrity Office. So non-existent research papers, citations making their way into into okay, I'll not name papers. AI is inventing research papers, academic papers that don't exist. That's Reddit. AI is inventing academic papers that don't exist. It's probably from Rolling Stone that Reddit is quoting. Phantom reference, retraction watch. Again, this is the second time I'm discussing this. How a made-up article got hundreds of. See, this is 2017. This is not AI, but how did a non-existent paper rack up hundreds of citations? So there's a lot going on, and you should have an eye out for it. ChatGPT creates scientific citations that don't exist. Okay, so I can give you more on this because I know more on this. G0. The company found 100 hallucinated citations across 51 papers that it confirmed as fake. The company tells TechCrunch. Okay, so the company that's been referred to as GPT-0. Here it is. Fortune, right? So one of the world's top academic AI conferences accepted research papers with 100 plus AI hallucinated citations. The report claims, and you can find out more about this. So that's what's going on. And with that start, let's focus on AI for English literature. Okay, AI research resource use of artificial intelligence in research. So they're coming up with policies, and they are deliberating over this. They're having a lot of meetings and everything, and they're conducting surveys and so on. And I've said that the academia is catching up, and the question is researchers using AI. So there was this SAGD for AI content found in papers. That's recent. That's recent news. So you can see that this is 2021. It's recent. You can adjust the date and top academic. I don't want to name and don't want to make it more specific. Yes, you can see that AI generated references scandal. So that's the kind of thing that's going on, and we will focus on English literature, UGC NET, and so on. So you could talk about, for example, AI researchers or AI in India. I've already talked about Sarvam AI. I've already talked about Shakti processor. I've already talked about AI for Bharat. So it's the internet was idle when it was created. It was created with 25 years in mind, or something like that. So they are investing in AI so that they can reap the benefits 2 or 3 decades from now, that kind of thing. So this would be a good read, a very short history of the internet and the web. There's a So you can go into these debates, and we'll talk about this some other day. But AI in research, let's focus on AI in English literature research. Cite anything.edu. So all universities with edu domain, or sorry, all websites with edu domain will be listed, and education organization domains. All TLDs, top level domains. What is the top level domain? That's your .com, .org, .net, and so on. Today you can have anything. .ai as .io has been around for quite some time. .ai is the newest one that you can see coming up. So all TLDs, top level domains related to education sector. Yeah, this is not getting me what I wanted, but yes, if you're talking about ac.uk, that's UK academic, okay, and so on. So you could search for ac.uk, for example. Okay, so that'll be all UK universities coming up. If I wanted Yale website .edu, wanted Harvard, might be edu again. Yes, so that's American universities coming up. AI augmented pedagogy enhancing literary analysis skills. That's Harvard. That's your first result. That's a paper. Looks like. Yes. Yeah. A role of AI in literature, artificial intelligence in English literature. So this is how AI will affect teaching. I'm interested in this is AI in pedagogy. I'm interested in literature projects with AI. Generative AI for critical engagement with literature. This project proposes to explore the potential of generative AI tools for student engagement with sources ranging from academic literature to industry reports. Using AI with literature searches, that's literature in general for any subject whatsoever, any discipline whatsoever. This is not English literature projects with AI. See, I'm changing my virtual Chaucer, a new project using AI technology. That's Oxford, which is great. Pilot collaboration between researchers at the English faculty, Charisma AI, and Creation Theatre aimed at anyone over about 11 years old. The experience allows you to enter the Tabarin, watch the pilgrims as they gather, and then to interact with them through AI technology as you fulfill your task. Choose to find out more about the Miller or these people. Yeah, great. So these are the details, and Charisma AI is a corporate entity, I suppose. Yes. So that's a game based on AI. That's what I'd say it is. And you could visit the website and getting started with AI in the language classroom. New handbook explores the future of literature in the AI era. That would be of use. Yes. So there will be a variety of projects and there will be a variety of ideas, and you want to look at how you want to go about it. Because the thing is, ChatGPT is already, so that's news from months and months ago. OpenAI claims ChatGPT or GPT-5 model boosts ChatGPT to PhD level. That's months and months ago, right? So AI for research. The thing is, it's a very explicit instruction you can give. Give me citations from this time on these things by these people. That will avoid fake, made up, non-existent references or whatever it is, right? So the thing is, I had the chance of coming across inference again. Now, inference and inference engine, they are worlds apart, and inference engine would involve the math behind an inference engine. That's I mean that's a recurring thing that you observe in my videos. I keep talking about the math behind these things, and this is mathematics at a very forward chaining inference engine and mathematics at bachelor's master's level. Pure mathematics, applied mathematics. I'm talking about modeling, and I'm talking about what you have in so Mathematica as a software. Okay, so that's one, and then there is MATLAB, and then simulation and modeling, mathematical modeling. Okay, so many things go there. Here it is. MATLAB is something I had before. What is an inference engine? So inference engine is a core software component of many artificial intelligence systems. It's designed to apply logical roots of. So the point I'm trying to make is that we are talking about. So for example, Fourier series or Fourier transform, Z transform, Laplace transform, right? So this is the kind of thing that you're looking at when you're talking about an inference engine. So takes it to a different level altogether. And prologue for inference in natural language, Haskell for NLP and AI. Haskell, by the way, Haskell is one language covered in 7 languages in 7 weeks, right? See, there are pros and cons. There's a reason why you would use Python. Functional. What is functional programming? You have to know these things in order to understand why or what is the. I mean, first of all, why does Haskell exist? So you could talk about best languages from for AI apart from Python, C++. JavaScript is being used for AI applications, right? And we are reading Cisco. So, what's the best programming language for AI? Let's go through this. Quintessential best language for machine learning, Python. C++, speed demon for performance centric AI. Best for data analysis, R. Java, the enterprise choice for scalability and performance. Scalability, performance, there are metrics, there are mathematical formulae, and that's how you. I mean, the question is, for example, I said I came across perfect test in Macbeth, and then best and best test. So the thing is, best test can come from a lab, and then you could say that it's been found and it's found in child language acquisition and so many things around those things, around those topics of research, let's call them. But the thing is, someone might tried it in the past. Does not have to be something special about the human brain. Could be as simple as, and could be as simple as trying it out for it is creative. I would say. I don't want to say for it's fun. I want to say it's creative. So it's related to creativity. So that's how Because when I say not from labs, you're saying the formulae. You're going to say so argument, not from labs, counter argument. The formulae are developed based on studies from labs, and that is where things like replicability, reproducibility, and generalizability, these things come up. Okay, that's a different topic, and that's from statistics. You do have these things in UGC NET syllabus, research aptitude. Okay, so statistics is where you come across these things, generalizability and so on, whatever the spelling is. So coming back to, as far as language is concerned, not everything has to be reported. So perfect test will be available to you in any text from any original text from Macbeth, if the editions don't vary. So again, you may know about variorum editions of Macbeth, right? And you would want to see those changes here. Perfect test, and then yeah. So scalability and performance. That's a lot of scalability measures for AI projects. So you can find it here. So the idea is that if it works for 100 users, would it work for 10,000 users? Would it work for 100,000 users, and so on? So it's a lot that goes into all of these things, and again, that's why I keep talking about the math. Who accounts for the math? Because see, you can have validation from people who are mathematicians and everything, but the thing is, it's for very specific purposes that this kind of thing is done, and these purposes are about generating revenue, and that's why research publications versus. So yeah, that's why it matters when you're talking about retractions. Okay, so it's about the revenue generation and about the entire cycle and so on. So I'm not getting those things, but yes, there's a lot of maths going behind all of this, and the maths is where the magic happens, so to speak. Okay, I don't want to say more on that at the moment. Full stack flexibility and accessibility. So JavaScript again. Only yesterday I said that if you learn JavaScript, you can write your backend in Node.js, and your frontend you don't have to learn any other language. So JavaScript is definitely one language you want to learn. As general as Python, as fast as C, and as statistics friendly as R. So combines three things, so which is something that you would want to have. Based on 40 plus million downloads and growing community delivered on its promise. Yeah, TensorFlow is available in Julia. Yeah, so you could have a look. Julia programs for start, and that's where you start. By the way, documentation. Okay. You have it on YouTube as well. So that is one reason why programming languages are popular, become popular. They have support from the community, and there is a lot of documentation. That's ready-made example code available. GitHub projects you can download and run on yourself and so on. So yeah, so if you're interested, you can have a look. Start learning on your own. So Cisco DevNet, that would be a great platform for you to revisit. Okay. Point is, I was talking about inference and inference. So first order logic, inference versus AI inference engine. See, that's 2019. Inference in first order logic, 2020. Knowledge representation in first order logic, 2025. Right. These are things that are coming to my mind because I know about these to some extent, and at inference in first order logic, yeah, right. So University of Pittsburgh. Again, you have to be able to read these things, and if you are starting out, this can look like, okay, how do you go about this? Okay, yeah. So it does require some prerequisite, and that's what I was saying. What do you mean when you say you add to meaning, right? So add to meaning means add quale um, through all content words. That's what you'd say. So what this means is adjectives, verbs, adverbs. So is bright, is light, can move, can stand. Now, adverbs would be you require verbs. So, would there be a situation where you have adverbs without verbs? That's what comes to my mind, but I don't think there's any point going to that right now. But again, how do you add meaning? That's what I said in the last video, right? So, what do you mean when you say add to meaning? That kind of thing. So, Prolog has been one language, and building a reasoning agent with verifiable logic. Yeah. So, reasoning agent reminds me mining, argument mining, or something like that. Mining, argument mining, intersection of NLP and knowledge representation and reasoning in AI. Yes. So where I'm giving you this from is years ago. I was looking at this mining thing from years ago. I've already mentioned Haskell and Prolog, for example. There's Prolog. Okay, so Prolog based on probability. So anyway, that is something that you want to argument mining a survey. That is what you would want to read. That's 2019. It's been so much time because and the watershed is AI, right? So that's 2022 November. Art mining 2026, 13 workshop on argument mining and reasoning, beginning of yeah, whatever it is. So these are explainable argument mining discovery research. Explainable AI is something I might have mentioned in these videos, but explainable AI is how does the thing work? It works, but how does it work? That's what explainable AI is. How do you explain the math and so on? So argument mining, a machine learning process. Again, this requires you a lot of prerequisite in terms of mathematics from bachelor's and masters, and it requires you mathematics from computer science as well. So discrete mathematics, in certain areas of mathematics are to be learned before you can actually make sense of notes and presentations such as we saw just now. So detect arguments present in a text document, the relations between them, and the internal structure of each individual, and so on. So that's what it is, and you can find out more about this. But Laplace transform, Z transform, Fourier transform, Fourier series, that's from years ago. Okay, so build your own inference engine from scratch to 7. Let's train a simple neural network, say the model, and write an inference engine that can execute inputs against the model. Right. So idea is, can I say something based on something given to me? So that's what you do in reading comprehension and inference engines. So for example, how good is AI at reasoning on fictional words? That's a project. That's a project for English literature, right? English literature projects with AI. Now, I'm not reading AI to find out what goodness there is. Are reasoning models helpful or detrimental for creative? See, since R1 maybe a reasoning model. No, it's not giving me what I want. AI, AI and reasoning. What's the latest? This would be a good read. Understanding the strengths, large reasoning models, as you can see, right? That generate detailed thinking process before providing answers, and so on. Verified reasoning. Yeah, so verified reasoning would be logic proofs, first order. Yeah, so that's how you would verify reasoning. Okay, given that you can represent so higher order logics are used in what applications? Knowledge representation is already there, right? Offer shortest proofs of various propositions in number theory. Now, this is a lot of mathematics. That's what that's what I'm saying, and the interest, the numbers, the determination, all of these things get affected when we are talking about such things. So yes. So anyway, you get the point. And you can see there's a lot on it to be studied. What's next in AI? 7 trends to watch in 2026. We can look at this for sure. Okay. AI will amplify what people can achieve together. We'll get new safeguards that join the workforce, poised to shrink the world's health gap, central to the research process. You can see that. AI will become central to the research process. Already speeding up breakthroughs in fields like climate modeling, molecular dynamics, and materials design. Next leap is coming in 2026. Actively join the process of discovery in physics, chemistry, and biology. Transforming R&D with agentic AI introducing Microsoft Discovery. Okay. AI will generate, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. AI will generate, so verifiable reasoning, right? That's why I give you that picture of the formal proofs, logic proofs. So AI will generate hypotheses, use tools and apps that control scientific experiments, and collaborate with human and AI research colleagues. Yeah. So this shift is creating a world where every research scientist soon could have an AI lab assistant that can suggest new experiments and even run parts of them. That's the logical next step, Lee says, building on how AI works alongside developers with pair programming, for example, and uses apps to automate everyday tasks like shopping and scheduling in other domains. So it's a transformation that, yeah. So with all of this, one would ask that there have to be checks. So that's how, I mean, serious this is. Anyway, AI infrastructure will get smarter and more efficient because the thing is that you will have this clause of limited responsibility and so on, and you can't depend on AI that's not being made transparent and being explained and so on. So and then there is this idea of who has the biggest market share and other considerations. Okay, so yeah, learning the language of code and the context behind it. So, as I mentioned, Guido van Rossum, the maker of Python, said that it'll learn C++ also. It's doing Python already. It'll learn C++ also. So it is yet to learn that. Okay. The next leap in computing is closer than most people think. That's quantum computing again coming. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Quantum computing has long felt like science fiction. Years, not decades era where quantum machines will start tackling problems classical computers can't. Hybrid computing. Okay. Yeah, simulations. You can see that. So climate modeling is a great example of so aerodynamic engineering, climate modeling. These are what you have when you are talking about simulations, and I think other areas from mechanics and so on. So modeling molecules, yeah, and the materials. He says, what's topological qubits? I don't know what that is. So I came across this. That's or whatever it is. Yes, self-improving agent. So it's rectifying its own mistakes, learning from them, and so on. And I've already mentioned again, this is the deep learning and how that is for machines. If that is true for humans, it would be a good question to ask. Okay, because statistics, thousands and thousands of iterations, or so many iterations, I don't know, millions of iterations, and you come up with something learned. That's I don't think that's what happens in the human brain, for example. I need to know more on that. I need to find out more on that. Okay. Yeah. So that is, see what the last I looked at it was 5 nm process. So nanometer. So that's so does quantum chips chip manufacturing use? Yes. So you have these effects here, and how they are being manufactured, what the technology is. So that kind of thing. Yeah. Quantum advantage will drive breakthroughs in materials, medicine, and more. Future of AI and science won't just be faster; it will be fundamentally redefined. Yeah, as I said, I've mentioned. Yeah, and you need to find out more about what Ray has to say on singularity is nearer. So with AI, it'll be achieved sooner, and that's what I had from Smita Prakash, and I've mentioned this in another video. So we started with English literature projects. I give you a very particular thing. So that's a very ambitious thing, and of course you need the resources, you need the know-how, you need the mathematics, and just write your own LLM with Python. Well, anyone can write scripts. It's not build a local LLM app in just 2 lines of code. Yeah. So yeah. So you see how easy it is. You don't have to watch an a video 5 hour 43 minutes long, 6 hours long, 20 even 21 minutes. It's just 14 minutes, and you can make it with 2 lines of code. So again, this is relying on the shoulder of giants. This is not your own hardware. This is not even virtual servers. It's a cluster, and it's so many things coming together, and you're just writing 2 lines of code. Yeah, so you're it's those 2 lines of code represent so many thousands, at least, lines of code behind the scenes. And I mean, so much complexity. I don't want to get into those things, and of course there's the mathematics. So yeah, so that is possible. It depends on the machine you have, and depends on what size of data you're processing, and so on. So this can be done, I'm sure, as it says here. But reasoning models with Python, reasoning models with Python for deterministic AI. What is deterministic AI? Deep Sea R1. Yes, R1 we came across some time ago in this video, right? Reasoning from scratch. That's a book, and generating text with a pre-trained LLM, evaluating reasoning models, improving reasoning with inference time scaling. What is inference time scaling? You'll have to, I mean, that is a lot of, I mean, work on your own, right? So that's Jupyter notebooks. I'm not. I'm looking for the book that there. supposed to be a book. It's just code, right? But yes, there will be a book, and you can find the book, and if you can find the book, you can torch, a Python torch, and that's what I've said. It's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, writing it in 100 lines of code, 2 lines of code. That looks good. That is there to look good for the fact that it looks good. Okay, open reasoning models and so on. So what I'm trying to say is reading comprehension through reading reasoning models. Reading comprehension benchmark, that's 2020. That's 2018. I'm sure that these things can come together. Okay, that's all I'll say for this one. See, this is from an AI company, and it would be, I mean, useful to read this. Okay, so promise of reasoning models, and I would invite you to logical AI thinking. But this is, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we're looking at, and if you can come up with something that will be, I mean, that'll get you a job. That should get you a job. Okay, in AI or related areas. Okay, so if you can come up with a project like that, if I can come up with a project like that, I'm sure that'll yeah, that'll be really advantageous. So that's news from August. So it's not, I mean, AI and machine learning with British library collections. How might libraries use machine learning to make collections more findable and usable in computational research? How a teacher used AI to teach Macbeth. Wow, that's something that you can read. Literature research with AI. That is for literature research in any domain. It doesn't have to be English literature. That is just academic literature, right? And so on. So I'll stop here. We've been looking at certain things. So we've been looking at ICD. We've been looking at current developments in technology, particularly AI. We've been looking at how you can search the internet to find material that you want, which material to find, how to find it. We have been looking at knowledge economy. We have been looking at vocabulary. KE is knowledge economy. KB is knowledge base, and machine understanding. I just put up TM like that, but yes, that's what's going to happen. If you search it, you will get something. It is there already, as you can see. You can see this here. You have it from Oxford as well. So it is something already, right? Consciousness. Again, this is getting into. I said that this is an MSc in digital humanities, so that's what we are looking at. Okay, and all that is very good. All that is very good. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think the human brain learns by iterating. It could be that doing it once iterates it 1,000, 100,000, or millions of times in the circuitry. That is possible. Or doing it 10 times iterates it for statistical um, requirements. so many times those equations, I mean those algorithms run, and it could be that the electrical circuitry in the brain, the neural networks, that's how they run. But um, it's very, I mean, the analogy between the brain and how these chips come together to work, how you can compare the brain to a supercomputer, or then the next step is quantum computing. So that's quantum physics, and we don't, I mean, we're still talking about classical physics when you're talking about computers and computing and so on. So that's the idea. But so is, for example, is the human brain comparable to a quantum computer? I don't know. Okay, I'm just, it is an inspiration for how quantum computing tackles complexity. That's what I'm saying. You're going from the brain to the computer. You can't compare the brain with the computer, and you can't. It's circular reasoning. You're assuming consciousness on in an AI machine or whatever it is, in a computer, and you're borrowing it from the analogy that you came up with first, basing it on likeness with the human brain, and then you're talking about the human brain in terms of computing capacity and computing capabilities and so on. So that is the idea. Yeah. So again, psychology has something to say on it as well. And yeah, new research suggests our brain use quantum computation. That's 2022 October, before ChatGPT was released. So it's up to you, and it would be a great idea to come up with projects combining literature, English literature, and reasoning, maybe. So I hope it was something productive for you today. Keep going through these slides. They are available here, thelanguagefellow.com/downloads, and explore for yourself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Stay tuned.